Who's an ISP?
Okay. In my understanding, or what I know, an ISP is a person or a company that provides internet service to others.
Okay, let's try. Haya. Liskia, we have the best experts in town. Wow, from Share. Someone from Share, nataka unijibu, what's a BNG protocol? Who can answer? Exactly. So from basic setups, from the Hoplite to a 951 to 2011, that has been my journey. Pole pole. Louis from Share said data center, he has said WIOC. A lot of people are asking the question, who are these people? That I had to carry out that journey. Now introducing Centipede Academy. This is my knowledge baked into the program itself. So the academy is designed for beginners. We mwenye unapigilia tenda kwa ukuta, pia niko hapa, have I contacted you? Technicians of fiber, wireless. Mbona AP kipigo na upepo hivi napoteza signal? Why? Client has perfect signal, -18, but apati net. Those is meant for you. ISP owners, likes of VNet, that operate ISPs, even experts. I've mentioned BNG. No one amenijibu. So it's here. If you need to know about BNG, you need to know firewall routing. Nimeiweka hapo ndani. So what will we learn? What will we learn in the academy itself? We'll start by introducing what an ISP is. Someone thinks an ISP is someone who goes, purchases a bandwidth, router, and the infrastructure itself. No, ISP is bigger question. It's a big field. It requires discipline. And the important thing, an ISP is a customer. Never think yourself as providing internet. Think as a customer. Your service you're giving your customer, if you are ungekuwa kwa shoe your customer, will you accept that service? Singefanya yote peke yangu. I needed somebody to help me to a course. Now let me introduce Brenda kuwasaidia na that.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brenda, and I'll be taking you through the learner journey on Centipede Academy. So we'll begin on the homepage where the learners can get an overview of the platform and decide on what best suits them. From there, they can explore courses and view the course catalog to see all the available courses. This will be the available courses, but for today, we'll start with what an ISP is. So once you choose your course, you can see the course details, what you learn, get a preview of the course content, and then if you decide to enroll for the course, you can add your course to the cart. Once you add your course to the cart, you can proceed to checkout. You have to have an account, so key in your details and log in to make the payment. So for our payment, we'll be using Paystack. On this page, you choose mobile money, and you'll continue to the Paystack page, where you'll be required to enter your number and you'll get an M-Pesa pop-up, make the payment. And once your payment is successful, you now have access to the learner dashboard. On the learner dashboard, you can see the course you enrolled on, the module you'll be starting from, the progress, estimated time of the lesson, and then you can start your course. So now this is the learner workspace where you'll also get your progress, the modules you'll be on, estimated time. On the left, the lessons are arranged into modules. So each module has a lesson. And on the center, we now have the content space. So you'll just read through your content if it's text-based or if it's video. And once you're done with all your courses, you get a final assessment. So if you pass your final assessment and get a passing score, which will be 70%, you can get a certificate and you'll be able to download your certificate. This is an overview of what your certificate would look like. Yeah, so that's just a summary of how the learner journey will be. Thank you for your time. I'll let Patrick take over from here.
So umeona hiyo yote singefanya. My work was to provide the knowledge. Na don't worry, haitakuwa ati ni text based. So najua mtaka ISPs hatupendi kusoma, si ni ukweli? So kuna videos, there are still videos baked into the content. So the expert out there who does not understand BNG protocol, iko yapo. An ISP who wants to start already iko encompassed hapo. So unaweza start to add your courses. I'm still uploading content, the modules, pole pole. Tuanze na beginner. Nimeona hapa a lot of people had a mindset that an ISP is someone who provides internet. But tuache hiyo. Let's go the right way. Tongea wadau.
Thank you very much, Patrick and Brenda. We can appreciate them better. So far, we've learned about the first product was
Access. Thank you. The second one, Wi-Fi, marketing, and
Academy. Amazing, amazing. You can appreciate yourselves. You're very good students. Thank you so much. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, to speak to us next, I'd like to invite Mercy. Wow. Yes, Mercy Cheredi Chore, who's sharing with us and coming from CMSME Club. We can appreciate Mercy as she comes to share with us her remarks as one of the key sponsors.
Hi everyone. I am Mercy Cheredi Chore. So it's MCC. If you place it as MC squared, what does it equate to? Anyone who did physics? Exactly. So what are we doing today? What are we bringing today? Energy. So when you're looking at CMSME, we are basically the platform which answers the Wakili a quick one question. We deal with small and medium-sized enterprises in the provision of tier-based legal solutions. So this is with regards to tax, immigration, business registration, any advisory which you need in a tier-based type of manner. So anyone with a legal question anywhere, you can reach us. We are somewhere there. We are with my colleagues over there. It's tier-based. We can provide your solution plans. You can provide the tiers which may be catered for you, and we hope to help you in any way which you need in a legal-based sense, so that you may focus on growing your business rather than focusing on the legal technicalities of every other thing which involves ISPs. So thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. You can appreciate MC squared better. Thank you so much. Please be sure to interact with our sponsors as we are going to be having a session, a break time session. So ensure that you get to engage with them, get to learn about the solutions they have that you can also benefit as well. So to bring to us the final presentation on the products that Centipede is launching on this great day is the founder and CEO, Fabian Mwema, who's going to officially reveal Centipede version 4 billing system. We can appreciate him as he comes to share with us.
Thank you. Moment we've all been waiting for. All right. Before we begin version 4, you've heard how we are growing our ecosystem from Centipede Access to Centipede Wi-Fi Marketing to Centipede Academy. Centipede Access is majorly for network providers, network administrators who do not use Centipede because we already have notifications, we already have backups baked in. So if you're not using Centipede or you don't trust any billing system, we have Centipede Access for you. If you're a business, you're using Wi-Fi, you don't sell your Wi-Fi, we have Centipede Wi-Fi Marketing for you. And if you're an upcoming ISP, you're an experienced ISP, we have Centipede Academy to grow your skills, to hone your skills, so that when you come to our support, you don't ask us, how do I connect a TP link? So before we get version 4, why did we change from the version 3? I know most of you have been asking that question. Why change the already working system? Why not just improve it or remove all the bugs? So why did we move from version 3? So version 3 is built on Filament PHP. I don't know if some of you might know that. Filament PHP is a framework in Laravel that uses Livewire. Now, Filament PHP is an admin panel. It was an admin panel. The mistake we did while creating Centipede version 3 was using it in our system. It is meant to be an admin panel only. It is not meant to be a user-facing system. So that is one reason why we are moving away from version 3. Now, Filament, as I've mentioned, is built upon Livewire. Livewire, for every button click, sends a round trip to the server. So every time a customer clicks a button, we get a server request on our servers. So we had to scale our servers so, but the infrastructure that we used was not correct for a billing system. Because one clicks buy now, that is a server round trip. But with the new technology that we are using, every time someone clicks a button, it just pops up. It does not go to the server. Now, the next reason was it's not very mobile friendly. Yes, we tried to improve it with our own designs to change the designs a bit, but it was not mobile friendly to begin with. It's also not very customizable. You cannot easily customize it to what the ISP wants. And with the many requests that we got from internet service providers, all the feature requests that we got from you guys, we could not continue with it anymore. We hit a ceiling with the technology. The branding, yes, we tried to make it as brandable as possible so that you can change the colors, you can change your logos, but nothing else could be branded. The captive portals, they were not very customizable. And if we customize them, they would not look good. They were, yes, we had some good designs, but they did not look as good as you wanted them to look. And the last was, of course, like I've mentioned, we had little control over the UX, and we had to wait for Filament themselves to launch a new release. Then we can release our features with that release. Right now, we have more control. We can release as many features as you want at any time, of course, after they've been tested. Now, introducing version 4. And we have, on top of the features that you've already learned and trusted, we have introduced new features. We've introduced AI support. Now you have your own copilot, your network copilot, and I'll show you how that will be working. You can bring your own keys, whether from ChatGPT, from Claude, for now we support ChatGPT and Claude. You'll be able to bring your own keys. You can use your AI as you please without any limitations. Some of our users in other countries were heavily using vouchers. they do not have a way to track the vouchers, how they're moving, how their agents are doing. We have that now. We've improved monitoring. Right now, if your MicroT goes on offline for 1 minute, you'll get a notification 1 minute later, because that is because of a feature that I will show you for monitoring. Affiliate program is now live. It's better, and I will show you how that works. So once I give you access to version 4, I think some of you have already gotten access. You'll be able to see all these features and many more. But for now, I will concentrate on only four features. And the first one is affiliate marketing. So from the very beginning, most users usually come from you guys. You know an ISP, you refer him, but you don't get anything in return. You might get a discount, but now you can using Centipede as an affiliate marketer. So this is extra revenue for an ISP, and I'm going to show you how that is going to work. So once you create an account, you'll be able to see your dashboard with all the analytics. You can use a link that you can use to paste on your social media, anywhere where you can share. And once that ISP clicks it, you'll be able to see the click. If that ISP views your link, you'll be able to see that link, so that we are transparent with whatever we're trying to give you as an extra income, source of income. So once you copy that, they will click that link. They will open the registration form with that link. After registering, that analytics is here. You'll be able to configure your payouts. And if an ISP pays, all your payouts will be listed here. So payouts will be done weekly on Mondays. So all the payout details you've entered here will be, that's where we send the money. For every ISP that signs up, you get 500 shillings. And this is indefinitely. So it's not about to stop. We're introducing this feature and it will be there indefinitely. So for every ISP that you refer, 500 shillings is yours. So if you would like to join this program, you can just scan the QR code, or you can visit affiliate.centipedebilling.com so that you can register as an affiliate marketer. So that is already live. If you refer someone, you'll be able to track all that from there. Now, some of you might have a lot of users, or some users who want to use your internet, and you might not have a payment gateway integrated into the system. So what do? You offer them vouchers, and you cannot go around town giving everyone a voucher. You need foot soldiers, agents on the ground that can sell those vouchers for you. So you reach everyone, and that's why we're introducing the voucher agent dashboard, where you'll be able to assign an agent vouchers. You can track how the agent can even buy the vouchers for themselves, and you can keep a track of all that on your dashboard. Of course, you might have internal agents on the ground as well, so you'll be able to create those agents on the system. So let me show you a tutorial, a demo of how this will be possible. So on the vouchers, we've improved a bit. We've added templates. You can decide to choose which template you want. You can review the agent sales. So Fabian Wema has sold 20 vouchers. You can view the voucher batches. So if you generate a voucher today, 100 vouchers today, that will be a batch. So you can track how that is going on. And you can also create agents. After creating agents, you can assign that agent maybe 100 vouchers, 1,000 vouchers, whichever vouchers you want. So after generating that voucher will be available on the customer's, on the voucher agent's dashboard. So this is the voucher agent's dashboard. There's the overview page where they can see their sales, which customers are currently online using the vouchers, and also if they want to add float so that they can buy vouchers for themselves. You don't have to be there to sell the vouchers for them. You'll be able to do that. Under version 4, we've also introduced new portals, captive portals designs. Because the ones that are there, yes, they looked good, but they were limited. So if you move from your ISP and another ISP in the next building uses Centipede, you see the same captive portal. So a client might confuse that. Maybe this is the same Wi-Fi that I've been using. So let me just buy this one. So you can make that portal truly yours. So captive templates, and more are still on the way that are mobile friendly. Some of them are voucher friendly. So if you only sell vouchers, there's no need for clients to see packages. They'll be able to see that voucher. So that's a different package on its own. You can customize the portal more. You can, I'll show you. So you can reorder items on supported templates. If, for example, you want the login to be above, because sometimes you want the customer to log in instead of seeing the packages. Or if you want the customer to see the packages first before they see the logins, you'll be able to do that with these new templates. Of course, the reordering is only on supported templates. TV packages, this is a request we've received a lot, and it has bugged us all, even us as Centipede. Those who want to purchase for TVs. So we have 2 ways to purchase for TVs now. If the TV is able to redirect, they will get a QR code to scan. They can scan that QR code and pay with your mobile phone that has internet. If that client does not have internet, you'll be able to see a pay bill and an account number they can pay with. Just like the way you connect to Netflix, your TV with Netflix, you're given that code. So you enter that code in M-Pesa with a pay bill, and then the TV will automatically get connected to internet. So if that TV does not redirect, because sometimes that is the case, if that TV does not redirect, you can just take your phone, go to the packages page. You'll be, of course, redirected. Once you connect to the Wi-Fi, you will be redirected. You'll be able to see a TV connection feature where you select that TV using the MAC address. You pay just like the way you pay for normal packages. So to show you this, here is a simple demo. This is the package, the monochrome package that you already use. Or this is Lumen Dark, sorry. Then you'll be able to reorder those items. So if you want login to come on top, login will come on top, then the packages will come down. If you want the trial to come on above, it will come above. So these are some of the templates that we've introduced. We also kept the ones that you've been using, so that if you still want to use those, you can still use those. So this is one of the packages. This is one of the templates that we are using for the demo. And this is how you'll be able to connect to a TV. So you can just enter the MAC address, automatically formatted. And if you don't want to type it, you can speak from a nearby device. You'll be able to see a list of the MAC addresses from that list that are connected but not authenticated. I don't know if so far so good. All right. All right. No one likes outages, right? No one likes receiving that problem, ICMP not available, right? So we are doing a few changes on that notification. So we have, in the previous billing, yes, there were some issues on real-time notifications. So we have now improved that. And the reason for improving that is because of automated compensation. Now, if your MikroTik goes offline for, let's say, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, goes offline for 10 minutes, you can decide on the system, if my network is down for more than 5 minutes, then compensate 100% of the entire downtime to my clients, and then send them a message. So this is exactly what we've done. You don't need to pay for other services to monitor your sites. Real-time monitoring, we've enabled that now. Operators switch, so you can switch on the auto-compensate feature in settings. And I will show you how you can do that. So the settings, operator alerts, you'll be able to switch on auto-compensate. You'll be able to compensate whichever user you want, PPOE, hotspot. If you want all of them to be auto-compensated, that's fine. If you want a specific package to be compensated, that's also fine. Then you can decide what share of the outage should I give the customer. If you want to give them 50%, if the network was off for 1 hour, you can give them 50%, which is 30 minutes. And then you can type the message that they will receive once that compensation has been done. So far, so good. Are we covering all the bases that you requested from us? Okay. Now, like I said, we have a lot of new features, but the ones I wanted to emphasize on are these ones. But of course, as you'll notice that this is missing, so we'll be able to take on those from our support channels, our WhatsApp groups, and we'll be able to add those as well. Now, the last one, and the one I'm really excited about, is the AI Copilot. So we now have a network copilot with you inside Centipede. With the advent of AI, we've seen how AI has really advantaged most of us. You can just type a question, you get the answer. Why is my MikroTik blinking red one port? You get the answer, right? So right now, that is all in Centipede. You don't have to switch between tools to get to the root of the problem. And we've integrated our AI system with your MikroTik, with your data, so that you can query your MikroTik. You can ask it how many of my subscribers are currently online, and it will give you a list. How many are currently expiring? It will give you a list. What is wrong with my MikroTik? Can you check the logs? It will give you an analysis and possible solutions. So let's see this in play. So this is a chart that I did this morning, actually. I don't know if all of you can see it. So I just greeted it, hi. So it can list all the things that it can do for you. Then I asked it, which of my subscribers are currently active? So it gave me the subscriber, expired, sorry. So it gave me the expired subscriber. Currently, this is a demo account, so it only has one. Then I asked it, just load. So I asked it, this subscriber who is expired, and it gave me that answer. So like I said, it's integrated deeply with your data. Only your data. It's not, it will not malfunction. Currently, we only have read-only access, but as we develop it, you'll be able to tell it, disconnect all the expired users. Create a campaign for all the expired users to receive a message every month. Something like that. So right now, it's only read access. So right now, I asked it, is there anything in the logs of the MikroTik that is online in this account that has an issue? What is in the logs that needs my attention? And it did all those tool calls. It evaluated the logs, took the logs from the MikroTik, evaluated all those logs, and then it told me there are some radius authentication errors, which were there on purpose. So you'll be able to use this Copilot with 200,000 tokens if you're using our AI. But if you bring your own key from ChatGPT or you bring your own key from Claude, you can chat with it as much as you want, because the payment will be on your end on ChatGPT. So how to enable this? How do you enable this? So you just go to my integrations, then you'll see AI assistant. You can choose between Claude and OpenAI, enter your key and save. And then you can start chatting with your data. So all these, because of time, I will, like I've said, I will not go through all the features, but of course, you can see me on the side if you want to see all the features, all the keys, AI assistant, our copilot that will act as your support. It is connected to our documentation as well. If you have any questions about the documentation, how to configure Centipede in your MikroTik, you'll be able to do that. So all these new features and all these improvements, we are not adding to our pricing. So you'll still get every with the same pricing, 3% of hotspot revenue and $0.25 for BPOE accounts or 25 shillings if you're in Kenya. So thank you. I hope version 4 will be good to us. And if you have any issues, bugs, as any software, of course, you can raise that with our support team and we will work to fix those. If you have any feature requests, of course, you can also always talk to us. We will evaluate internally and see how feasible the features are. Thank you.
Thank you. We can appreciate the founder and CEO, Centipid, better. We can appreciate him better. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing with us. And again, just to highlight what products have we learned about today, we have Centipede, Access, Centipede, Wi-Fi Marketing, and Centipede Academy. And finally, we have officially launched Centipede version. Amazing. Could we appreciate Centipede and the team for the great work and the innovation? Thank you so much. I know we've been seated for some time. Cindy, we're just about to take a short break. We'll give you a short 5 minutes break. You can have the refreshments. And just to let you know, we have the lavatories. Once you leave this exit, the team at the registration desk will guide you, okay? So feel free to ask any question and also get to interact with the team so that they can be able to guide you as well. Great. So before we go for the short break, immediately after the break, we have a panel discussion. So what do we mean when we talk about a panel discussion? We are going to have different professionals who are going to sit here and guide us for a discussion, okay? So they're going to be answering questions from key aspects like, tax. They're going to talk about licensing, the current issues in this industry. And just to let you know, we have a representative from the Communications Authority of Kenya. We have legal representatives as well. I can see the gentleman at the back is smiling. Yes, your questions will be answered. And yeah, we'll get an opportunity also to interact and engage with them. Are we good? Do you have a question? Thank you. Yes, sir.
My name is Stanley Kamutenjoy. I have two issues. Number one is about the reception. We have a problem with your reception when we have an issue. And I'll give you a specific example of what happened on Wednesday. Okay. I sell off internet. The money went to my account, but I was not connected. And that brought out a big issue. The money is in my account, and my customer is not connected. Now, to get you people was a problem. I got one person, and maybe you can explain why this thing is happening, because it's very discouraging.
Thank you. Thank you. We can appreciate you for that question.
Thank you. Thank you. I know a lot of you have issues. No one doesn't have an issue. So what we are doing in version 4 is we have fixed those issues. And one thing I forgot to add is you can actually switch to version 4 right now. You can just click your gear icon On your settings, you can click the gear icon, and then you can click move to version 4. So once you move to version 4, any issues that come up, we'll be able to fix them. And of course, this is a support issue, and we can raise that up with our support team. Thank you. One other thing I forgot to do, Alan. I know everyone here knows Alan. Alan is a very strict guy in our WhatsApp group and our able technical support team.
Thank you. Thank you so much for responding to that. Thank you. And just to let you know, today it's an opportunity for you to interact with the team. The CEO has introduced the team, so feel free to engage with them and ask them as many questions as you can. So we are going to move to our short break for the next 5 minutes. And I believe by exactly 12:01, we should be seated so that we can proceed. So you're free to go for your short break. Thank you.
Nimetoka kuimba na kitambulisho misina, nimepoteza walena, sijachukua nyingine na sijakataa kosa nililofanya, sijakataa kitambulisho sina, sijakataa chini nimeshaketi, usiniseti ya bande. Natambua kwamba mnakosa ulilofanya, kitambulisho hicho hauna, nikufanyeje? Mapato yangu ni madogo, nategemea kidogo, ni kazi yangu, ulirangu, hujakataa kosa ulilofanya, hujakataa chini nimeshaketi, hujakataa kitambulisho una, inakusaidia raia, pata sheria
next session. And I want to start by inviting, we're going to be welcoming the panelists and the moderator who's going to lead us in this session. So to kickstart this session, ladies and gentlemen, okay, we'll continue the networking. I kindly request that we shall continue with the networking. Later on. We'll continue the networking later on. I believe for now it should just be the engagement with your plate, your snack. So to begin this session, I'd like to start by introducing the moderator. He is a seasoned performance marketer with over 9 years in IT and digital marketing. He boosted online growth for 100 plus small businesses through programs like Ajira and Grow with Google, and also excelled at AdTech Group, expanding their presence in Kenya and Botswana, and headed the digital marketing team at CM Group. He later moved to Ringia Group to head marketing of special projects, and currently he serves as the lead performance marketing for Centipid Technologies. He holds an MBA from Kenyatta University, a BSc from the KUT, and also a diploma in ICT, and he's currently pursuing a master's in Liverpool John Moores University. He has also authored papers featured in respected journals and is passionate about sustainable business growth. To lead this panel discussion, please join me as we welcome Joseph Ndongo, who's going to serve as the moderator. Kindly, my DJ, you can play him some music. Let's get to see if people in IT also have moves. Easy, let us appreciate he takes the stage. Marco also moves. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you so much. To introduce our first panelist, he is the Assistant Director, Monitoring and Inspection, Telecom, Broadcast, and Postal at the Communications Authority of Kenya. He's also responsible for monitoring quality of service of telecommunication services in Kenya. He oversees the Nairobi Regional Office, which covers 9 counties of Nairobi, Kiambu, Narok, Nakuru, Nyandarua, Kajiado, Kitui, Makueni, and Machakos. He is an expert of satellite communication systems and has been working in the Frequency Spectrum Management Department for the last 19 years. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as we welcome on stage Mr. Nelson Wasilwa, DJ. Amazing, Mr. Nelson, show some moves from the Communications Authority of Kenya. Amazing, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Nelson. We have a gift for the best dance. Great, great. Our next panelist is an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. Mwalimu Ahmad, hapa ni wapi? Amazing, amazing. And a specialist in the intellectual property, technology, and commercial law with over 5 years experience. She is an associate advocate at CM Advocates LLP, where she advises on digital compliance, telecommunications, technology, transactions, commercial contracts, platform governance, and cross-border digital services. Her work involves advising startups, financial institutions, regulators, and technology companies on regulatory compliance and risk management, with a focus on data protection, cybersecurity, intellectual property enforcement in digital environments, and commercial structuring for technology-driven business. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as we welcome Mercy Choredi to share with us as well in this panel. DJ, you could have the music. My coffee. Amazing, amazing. Thank you, thank you. Next on this panel, we have a young gentleman. Not sure if he's a Gen Z, but his dance moves will tell us better. He is the founder and CEO of Wima Internet and Wima Tech Kenya, two companies focused on delivering reliable internet services and supporting the growth of internet services providers through network infrastructure, solutions, and industry insights. A computer science graduate with years of experience in ISP industry. He has built his business from ground up, growing Wima Internet from a startup with no subscribers to serving hundreds of active customers across multiple billion platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as welcome Leon Mwendia to join this panel discussion. DJ. No, Leon, you just have to wait. Okay. Makofi ya Leon. Shenzi kweli. Watu wa take. Anyway, our final panelist member to join this panel discussion. He is a senior associate at the CM Advocates LLP and Barizi Data Privacy Services with experience in data protection, corporate and commercial law, regulatory compliance, and governance. Prior to his current roles, he served as a legal and compliance officer and data protection officer at Nabo Capital Limited, where he advised on legal, regulatory, risk, and compliance matters within the financial industry services. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as we welcome Mr. Brandon Otieno to join this panel discussion. DJ, pole pole.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. So for this specific panel, we're going to focus on licensing. We're going to focus on regulations. I'm sure you have a lot of questions regarding the license, the new laws that have just come out specifically for the ISP industry. And we have experts. You have heard their bios, and they are ready to answer most of your questions. But for now, we're going to focus on a few questions, and then we're going to have a Q&A at the end of the panel discussion. But hopefully they will be able to address most of the issues that you are currently experiencing in your businesses. I bet probably not all of you are regulated. You're maybe not really sure which licenses to pay. You're not really sure who regulates the ISP industry. Is it the county government? Is it CAK? So I believe we have so many questions. And that's why we went out to get these specific professionals to be able to answer your questions. I'm going to start this panel discussion specifically with Mr. Nelson, who is from Communication Authority. And Mr. Nelson, under the CAK Unified Licensing Framework, where do small and medium-sized ISPs get stuck between choosing the licenses? I understand we have an ASP license, an NFP license, a CSP license. What kind of license should they be applying for?
Thank you very much. Actually, at the CA, our main objective is to facilitate growth of small and medium enterprises as well as the big players. So because of that, we developed different categories of licenses that enable you to do your business. We have what we call the application service provider license. The application service provider license allows you to offer all communication services by leasing facilities from the network providers. So you are not allowed to set up like masts, but you're allowed to offer all the communication services, including internet, voice, even micro data and all that. So we also have another license called the Content Service Provider License. Now, the Content Service Provider License allows you to provide data-driven. Data-driven includes things like M-Pesa, like OTT services. So for you to know the right category, the easiest way is to go to the CA website. There is a tab called licensing. So at the licensing tab, there is a market structure. It gives you all the categories of licenses that we offer and the requirements. Now, to just address the issues of small and medium businesses like you, we have introduced one of the lowest licenses called the micro telecom service provider. So you are allowed to operate within one county, to offer internet, to offer voice, to offer data. You can even offer tracking services. So that's one of the ways we have tried to make sure that it's as easy as possible for you to do your business. Because our aim is to make sure that every Kenyan is connected. Now, the confusion comes in because most people, when they're not sure of what they do, they don't come to us. They fear coming to us. So I want to assure you from today that come to us and we'll give you all the information. If you cannot get it on the website, come to us. If you don't know whom to ask, come and ask for Wasilwa. I will give you all the information that you want. So the issue is we want to make sure that all your business is seamless so that Kenyans can benefit from what you're doing. And I like the innovation of Centipede and all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nelson. And before we move from you, I'd like to ask Leon a very specific question because he's the ISP in this specific industry. Have you paid for any license?
Okay, hi everyone. The question was?
If you have paid for any specific license, any
Yeah.
that I've mentioned. In fact, I can also throw this to the room. I don't know if anyone has paid for the ASP, NFP, and CSP licenses from the Communication Authority. Because I'm not really sure if there is an importance. And the main reason I was asking you this question is to throw it back to Mr. Nelson and ask him, why should the ISPs pay for this license? What's the importance of paying for a license? Or can they still operate without these licenses? Maybe we can get back to Mr. Nelson.
Thank you very much. The importance of getting licensed, number one, is that you'll be protected. You'll be protected in the sense that if there is a competitor who is not licensed, that competitor can be phased out so that you continue with your business. Number two, if you are licensed, if you're not licensed, you risk facing the law. For example, it's not easy to invest in this industry. You can imagine you've invested like a lot of money, and then that money just goes to waste because you did not meet a very simple requirement. The simple requirement is just a license. The smallest license right now is application fee is 5,000, and every year you pay for 25,000. I think that is something everyone who is serious can actually get. So it is very important to get the right license because unfortunately, if you are found to operate without a license, there are very punitive penalties that you face. I want to give you a very simple example without mentioning names. Someone was found to be operating an ISP and they crossed the railway line. They crossed their poles in the railway line and then they were caught by the police. So they were told, this is you're practicing terrorism because now you are crossing a public facility. So the wire can be used to communicate with terrorists. That's how serious it can be. You've invested like 2 million or even more. So it is easier to pay 5,000 application fees than to risk your investment of 2 million. Number, there are many reasons, of course, to abide by the law in simple terms. Let me just break down the licenses for the young people like in this room. Number one, the easiest one is the micro ISP, which is starting in July. We have not started issuing it yet. We're going to issue it from 1st July. And the reason is, it was very difficult for people who are beginning to meet the minimum licensing requirements. So we went to places like 15 people come together to apply for one license. We say, no, let's facilitate these people. So that's why we've come up with that license. Now, if you want to go full blast to operate in 3 counties, there is Tier 3 license, 3 counties. So if you want to roll out your services across the country, you can apply for Tier 2 and Tier 1. Now for Tier 2 and Tier 1, you can be given resources. Those are frequency resources. Okay? So, but if you are running a content service provider and application service provider, you are not allowed to have frequency resources. So that is the difference. So as a beginner, the easiest way is to start from ASP. ASP or micro ASP if you are to limit your business within one county. If you don't know how to do that, please come to us, come to me, and I'll show you the whole process of how to license.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nelson. I believe he has answered our question. If you have more, we'll have the Q&A section. Now, I'm going to move to Mercy. Hopefully, you can focus on the panel and we can allow the vehicle to pass. So, Mercy, I know there are some new laws that were introduced that are currently touching the ISP industry. I don't know if you can care to tell us, for those who don't know, the new ISP regulations that were supposed to come into effect, I believe, 1st of June.
Yes, so the new regulations are coming into effect on 1st of June. So can you hear me with regards to the noise? Okay, so the new regulations basically have set forth that the only way you can deal as an ISP is if you are a licensed controller. That's the first thing. And then if you're dealing with the digging of maybe fibers, the depth should go up to 600 millimeters. It's a lot of technicalities, and they're supposed to get into force on 1st of July. The public participation was in May. So whatever is going on right now is the effecting of the regulations. The major thing will be whenever you want to implement these fibers, especially when you're digging across the beside the roads, make sure you have the pertinent licenses. You may have to get a license from either Kenha or Kurha, depending on the type of road which you're obviously trying to get into. Also, it also seeks to regulate the improper fixation of these cables. So I'm sure we've seen these cables which are just hanging all over, fixed in a way that obviously is not the most pleasing. So you are given 6 months to comply. You are given 6 months to fix your cables. Make sure they're within these regulations. And there's a penalty, obviously. There's a monetary penalty. And also there's an imprisonment. There's a term of imprisonment, which I do not know the exact term, but there's always a penalty for any regulation which is set forth and not adhered to.
Thank you, Mercy. Just still on you. Are these laws full in force, or are we certain that from 1st of July they come into effect?
Yes, they'll come into effect on the 1st of July. It's been gazetted already. We already know it will come into force. Whatever we can do right now is to adhere to it. If you have anything which needs consultation in the form of maybe public consultation, it will be obviously advisable to deal with the CAK. However, public participation happened in May, so whatever is happening right now is affecting the regulations.
I just want maybe to ask the audience if anyone participated in the public participation. Anyone who was in the Patrick was there. Anyone else who participated in this public participation? Maybe Patrick later on will tell us if he was agreeable to these new laws. And I just want to quickly move to Leon. Based on these new laws, I know right now there are so many things that ISPs are looking at, but I just want to get a perspective from your end, probably because you're representing a lot of the ISPs in the room. Um, what what actual regulations or licensing options you took when you were starting your business? Are there any county fees you're paying? Is there anything you're paying to the government in simple terms?
Okay, yeah, I'm paying for the licenses, but I don't pay them directly. Nikianza, it was very hard kujipata, okay, to afford. Actually, the biggest problem was affording them. So niliambiwa about the licenses, I was told about everything when I was starting, and the prices ndo kitu ilikuwa juu. So what I did, and what I would urge you guys to do, but right now, I think it's getting easier, the fact that the tier 4 in come. So it's getting easier. So what I did, I looked for tier 3 ISP, mwenye alikuwa already in the field, a friend of mine, actually is my mentor. Ndo akaniambia, if you're doing anything to do with the ISP in this county, anything to do with cables, everything, nini, I'm the one mwenye ndo take the responsibility. So in general, it's like my internet, it's a product or it's powered by another big ISP. But now that tier 4 is coming, I'll be there like me mwenyewe. Like I won't be having to call someone else whenever nimepata on a poll. Yeah.
Okay, and probably I'm not sure if you can be able, because okay, since right now you're paying these licenses, I know there has been a bit of a challenge. Are we paying to the CA or are we paying to the county government? So who gets the payment? Is it the county government or is it communications authority?
Okay, on my side, I guess I pay both.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I pay both. Okay, what I do with with my mentor, he tells me that you'll be using my license, you'll be using my county barua zake za county, you'll be using these baruas, but you'll be giving me certain amount of money, and of which hadi hiyo pesa yenye ananiambia nimpatie feels like bado ni mingi, it's a lot. According to I talked to Nelson tukiwa pale nyuma, and the prices that Nelson was giving me, it will be even way cheaper than what I'm paying right now. Yeah, so I think the tier 4 itakuwa inatusaidia sana.
Okay, so maybe I can throw this back to Nelson. Who gets the payment for this? If I pay the micro, is it micro license for CAK, do I need to pay anything else to the county government?
Thank you very much. This is a business like any other. So this business is going to reside wherever you're going to offer services. If it's going to reside in Kiambu County, Nakuru County, Nairobi County, that jurisdiction belongs to the county government. So you have an obligation to pay for the permit, for example, for the business, and you also need to pay for the way leaves, for the county way leaves. Then after that, you need to pay for the license, the communication license, the license for you to practice a telecommunication business, which comes to CA. Now, the mistake many companies do, they don't come to CA, they go to consultants. So you pay 10 times what you're supposed to pay. Come directly to CA, we give you direction. I'm trying to spoil business for consultants, sorry. But for sure, if you're going to pay 10 times and we are readily available to give you the right information, you're better off coming straight to us for guidance. That's my take. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. I believe we're going to have more questions when we get to the Q&A section, but I think I'm going to get into one of the key concerns that we've been having of late, and that is about data protection. I believe most of us handle a lot of data for our customers, and on the panel we have Brandon with us, and I have a key question for you, Brandon. As an ISP, should they be concerned about data privacy? Should they be concerned about data protection with the current laws in Kenya right now?
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. So I believe everyone should be concerned about data protection, not just ISPs, but all businesses in the country. But today we are here to talk about ISP, so I'll zero in on how it affects their businesses. So you see, in the Constitution, we have the right to privacy, which is in Article 31. Now, how this cascades down is that we do have the Data Protection Act, which assists in the implementation of this right to privacy. So there are different types of data personal data that is collected by ISPs. When you get a customer, I'm sure you ask them for their name, you ask them for their ID, you ask them for their billing details. You need to know their location in case you need to do some connections. At some point, you also get to receive complaints from them. All these qualify to be defined as personal data under the Data Protection Act. Now, if you collect all this information, I think you should be concerned about what are the principles of data protection. There are principles like, lawfulness, fairness, transparency. What does something like lawfulness means? It means I need to have a basis for why I'm collecting this information. And that has to be things like consent, maybe contractual basis. Consent particularly is very useful from a marketing perspective because we've had instances where some ISPs have actually been fined by the Office of the Data Protection Commissioner because once they collect things like phone numbers from customers, they assume that that gives them an automatic license to do things like promotional messages and marketing activities when they didn't get consent for such purposes. So there are these principles. There are things like accountability. Do you have documentation, simple documentation like data protection policies, data privacy notices, where you explain to your customers what type of information do you collect, why do you collect it, which other third parties has access to this information. And these third parties could be as simple, I think over the course of the conversation, I might have had people talking about the kind of partnerships that they have. So do you share information with those partners? Because that matters a lot. At the end of the day, because of the right to privacy, the Data Protection Act gives these data subjects different rights. They have the right to access the information that you hold about them. They can send you an email to ask you what information do you hold about me, and you are entitled to actually respond to them. They have a right to deletion. If they feel like you've sent them a lot of promotional messages, they can ask you to actually uh, delete such information, especially if they're no longer customers. Then they have a right to object the processing of information. So such right. So there is the key things, the principles of data protection, the transparency, the right to privacy itself, lawfulness, fairness, accountability, and there's also these data subject rights that you need to be conscious of as an ISP. I believe at the end of it all, it's about improving customer trust. And if you have a bad reputation for handling customer data in a very improper way, then you lose the trust of your customers.
Thank you. And still on you, um, as an ISP, are there any specific license that they need to apply? I know we have a data controller, data processor. Have are they if you understand the kind of business that they handle, do you think they need to apply for any of these certificates?
Yeah, they certainly need to. We don't we don't call them licenses per se. It's called registering with the Office of the Data Protection Commissioner because of the nature of the information they handle, some of which include sensitive personal data, things like the billing information, the financial data. Those are very sensitive information. So they need to register with the Office of the Data Protection Commissioner as either data controllers or data processors. The difference is defined in the Act. A data controller is somebody who determines the means and purposes of processing personal data. So the means could be something like, how do I collect? Where do I store it? You make that decision yourself. The purpose is, why do I need this information? Why am I asking for your billing information? This is so that I can send you an invoice at the end of the month so that you can settle your bill. Yeah, so those are data controllers. Then there's data processors. These are people who are just subcontracted by the controllers so that maybe they could assist the controller with achieving certain objectives. This could be something like maybe sending messages to the customers. As a customer, you might not want or have the capabilities to send such messages yourself, so you contract somebody to do that for you. And if you do that contracting, you'll be sharing the customer's information with this person. So that person, you have to make sure before you deal with them, they actually have a data processor license, because at the end of it all, they are acting on your behest. If they mess up, you'll also be messed up. Your reputation will also be ruined in the public domain.
Thank you. And finally, what are the implications of these registrations? Is there any cost? Are there any cost attached if I'm registering as a data processor or data controller? And probably you can also break down to the audience, do they need both of them or just one?
I think most of the time we usually advise entities to just apply for both license, because there's a very thin line. On some instances, you find that you're making the decision actually yourself on the means and purposes of processing. So in that sense, you're a data controller. But there are certain instances where you're also in partnerships with other organizations where they share certain information with you. So from a third party perspective, you can easily qualify as a data processor within the meaning of that word in the Data Protection Act. So you can just register for both, though I think the bare minimum is you have to be registered as a controller because of this vast information that you collect. There are some, the cost implications are not that high, very much affordable. When you register with the ODPC, they'll ask you for different requirements. They ask you for maybe things like certificate of incorporation, the basic KYC information, financial audits. You might not have that, but there's a way in which you can explain to the ODPC that maybe I was not in business in the previous year, so I don't have any audits of this kind. Yeah. So those are some of the things that we assist ISPs with.
Okay. I've not heard you mention the exact cost.
I think I mean, last I checked, it was something in the range of, I believe, 10,000 or 5,000 or thereabouts. Yeah, it's not that expensive.
Yeah, expensive is relative. So anyway, I think he has mentioned something very important. He has mentioned when we're setting up a business there, when you go to the ODPC, they ask for different documents such as a certificate of incorporation. And I want to go back to Mercy, and I want to ask her, apart from these licenses that we are speaking about, apart from data privacy regulations that we're talking about, when an ISP is setting up a business, what do they really need to consider specifically in the legal space of operating a business in Kenya?
So the first thing which you need to note is whatever Nelson said. When it comes to licensing, first, the Communication Authority only deals with registered entities. So if your entity is unregistered, automatically you won't get a license from the Communications Authority. So with regards to the SMEs we have here, I'd think of 3 entities which will be applicable. The first will be a sole proprietor, whereby the business is linked to the sole owner, basically. So whenever you get a debt, you'll be personally liable for any debt which will be incurred. Then partnerships, this is when 2 people come together for the purpose of making profit. Still, liability is incurred personally. The third, which most proprietors go for, is companies. Specifically for this session, I'll tackle the limited liability companies. So in this regard, your liability will only be exclusive to whatever shares which you have in a specific company. So for example, if a company incurs a debt with regards to, let's say, debt recovery, the debt will only be satisfied with regards to the shares which are held in that specific company. So when you're thinking of launching a company as a business venture, as an ISP, in my opinion, the best business venture to get into would be a company. The second thing I can think of when you're structuring your business is intellectual property. So intellectual property is basically the creations of your mind. The creations of your mind they are expansive. They may include your customer list, your proprietary solutions, your billing systems, which may be original in the very sense. So the first thing when you're thinking of intellectual property is your brand. So let's say when you're looking at his business, the first thing you could think of is the registration of his business, of his trademark name, just to take away the copycats, just to veer them off and to make sure that your brand is protected. The second I could think of is domain names. We all know that there's a lot of cyber squatting. So whenever you launch a business, always make sure that your domain name is registered. For the people here who have systems which are original, which are in a tangible format, you may also consider having copyrights for whatever websites you have, for whatever billing systems you have, as long as they're original and they're creative in a sense, in the human intervention sense, obviously, not in the AI sense. The third thing I can think of in intellectual property is if you have an employee, if you have anyone who you're working with, always make sure that the intellectual property is assigned to the company. This ensures continuity. It also helps in the sense of dispute resolution. So whenever there's a dispute with regards to the assets, and we all know that intellectual property rights are intangible assets, it will automatically be assigned to the company and it will be dealt with regards to the actual company. The third thing I can talk about is maybe NDAs. Have NDAs for whatever thing which you're putting out, especially when you're looking for funding or investors. If you see you have contacts, you have proprietary details which will get you a competitive advantage, always work with your NDA in whatever room you go into. So that's what I can say about that.
Thank you very much, Mercy. I'm going to move to Leon, and even as Leon responds to this question, I'll also get someone from the audience. I think since Patrick is here and is also an active ISP, I'm going to throw this question here because we have someone from Communication Authority. Maybe they can be able to respond. We have different costs. We have the rental pool cost. We have licensing costs. We have different expenses. So from your own perspective, I know you are also, can I call it sub-licensing from someone else? Which kind of licenses, in your own view, that's why I will also throw this question to Patrick, do you think are fair? And which ones do you think the government, because being represented by Mr. Nelson here, can be able to improve?
Okay, so talking about the licenses that needs to be improved, I'll talk about the KPLC. The KPLC is a little bit relatively high. According to the amount of money that I pay to KPLC, I would say KPLC needs to look at their pricing. Okay, I think KPLC don't have in mind that they are micro ISPs. KPLC only thinks that they are only tier 3 and tier 2 ISPs. Because if you visit the KPLC offices today, asking about their licenses, their prices to rent the poles, you'll be shocked by the prices that they give you. They don't.
What's the shocking price? I said price is relative. Maybe I heard there was someone who has been operating for 8 years. I don't know if the prices are shocking. Okay, so you continue.
Okay, now on my end, the prices that I pay, I don't pay directly to KPLC. I pay to my mentor. I would call him a mentor. I pay to him, and I think I'll be paying to him up until KPLC recognizes or acknowledges the tier 4 ISPs, the micro ISPs. I would say currently, I was at a point where I was feeling like now I think I can now, in the next maybe 6 months, I may be able to pay for the KPLC and the CAK licenses on my own. But now that the tier 4 license is coming, I feel that that will be a very big advantage on our end. So answering to my question, I would say that KPLC charges, they're the ones that zinanitingiza kidogo.
But the other licensing are affordable.
I would say the other licensing. I think this question would be best answered by Patrick, because me, I'm paying indirectly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Patrick, maybe we can hear from you.
So according to me, I used to pay the Tier 3 license for one county. So I'm actually happy they're introducing the micro ASP license, so I can downgrade that. I actually, to ask you another question, can I downgrade from my Tier 3 to a micro ASP license? I'm in one county. That's a question we'll answer, Nelson. It was the Tier 3 was high. Getting an ASP for Tier 3 and the network facility provider license, you had to chill around 300,000. But with the micro ASP or Tier 4, 25,000. Now we move to KPLC. KPLC is now where the game is, because you can pay close to, how I know, for like Nairobi County, for you to get a license from KPLC, you need to go with an ASP and an NFP from the Communication Authority to KPLC. The KPLC now will lease to you the poles. For Nairobi, it's normally 1,000 poles. You can lease a minimum of 1,000 poles. It depends from county to county, but 1,000 poles. And each pole is 200 shillings. That's 200,000 to start with. And according to KPLC, you need to pay for the first 3 months. That is 600,000. So the initial licensing for me was approaching $1 million, because that is 600,000. You go to CK for the Tier 3, and then Kanjo lazima wapatie yao. The way live certificate is 45,000. But Nelson, good work for the Tier 2, for the micro ASP with 25,000. Hakuna sa kujificha hapa na watu wa CK watikujia. Sasa ni kusumbuana na watu wa KPLC. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Probably now I can come back to Nelson and ask, is there a probability, I know I'm stretching here, that KPLC and CAK can be able to work in such a way that when someone gets this license, it's also a combination with also renting of the poles?
Thank you. Before I continue, I have a colleague here, Derek, who maybe you can chip in anytime. So he arrived late. Okay.
Maybe he can introduce himself. Yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Derek Hamali from Communications Authority. I work in the compliance and enforcement section, but in the licensing and the compliance department. So Nelson is my colleague. I think you've made good progress. Let me listen in. In case there is a specific question, I will come in. Thank you. Sorry, I was traveling, so that's why I got here a bit late.
Yes, thank you. Patrick, maybe to start with the micro TSP, just to clarify, 25,000 is the beginning, but if as you grow, we also grow with you. So if your turnover, if your turnover exceeds, then you will have to pay 0.4% of your turnover if it's more than the 25. So that's a clarification, because it's meant for the small guys. Yeah. Anyway, that was by the way. Now KPLC. Now KPLC licensing is a contractual agreement between you and KPLC to lease that space, isn't it? So these are my thoughts now. These are not the authority's thoughts. We are developing guidelines for what we call fixed broadband services. Fixed ASPs fall under fixed broadband. the mobile broadband services are offered by the mobile service providers like Safaricom, Telcom, Airtel, Jamii. Okay, so the ASPs fall under the fixed broadband. So we're going from 1st July, we're going to develop guidelines for fixed broadband. So I think we will come back to you for input so that we can develop guidelines that actually are fair enough for everybody. And one of the things I can read right now is that we can have a cap on how much someone should charge for leasing, for example. So maybe we can look at that when we come to the guidelines. I can reach out to you, not me. Okay, we can reach out to you so that you can give us your input. We're going to have very, you see, as it is now, the industry is not straight. It's messy, isn't it? So we're trying to make sure that we have order. And one of the things that are in my mind and my colleagues' minds is that we're going to introduce steps that will create order. Now, one of them is that we can look at something like color codes so that we can have color codes for fiber. You know very well, yellow is for so and so, so I cannot steal it, you know. Another thing is to introduce the cap, as you're saying, so that we can say, we did that for the broadcast signal distributors. They cannot charge beyond a certain amount. So I think that's something we can think about, introduce caps in terms of leasing of poles and all that. And the other thing we are doing is that we are having an active engagement between CA and county governments so that we can actually, in fact, we are trying to educate, or not really educate, but engage with the county government to ensure that provision of ICT services is not hampered by the bottleneck of cost. So in our engagements, we have actually put it very clear that when we have ICT services at the county level, it is the benefit of the county governments as well as Kenyans as well. So we're doing this through the Council of Governors, through the Office of the Director General, and of course, as we're the foot soldiers on the ground on that, yeah. So those are some of the steps we're doing to enable the industry like this one, very important industry, to have a smooth landing when it comes to kickoff. So those are some of the things we're doing, but of course we will come back to your input and some of the other things that maybe I can just brush through, things like standards. So in fact, Centipid, your innovation is great. You can come in. We're going to have something like speed tests so that we can be able to know that when you serve a customer, they are able to know how much MBs you're giving them. Are you fair in your charging and all that? And then we'll be able to reward those who are rated #1 by customers. We will have not to punish, but to encourage. We will not have a punishment. For mobile operators, we find them. So for this industry, which since it's still young, we don't propose a punishment. We propose an environment whereby we encourage those who are doing very well to continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nelson. I think we can clap for our panelists. Let's clap for them. I'm sure you might have more questions when it comes to regulations, and we still have the team from Communications Authority. We still have the team from CMSME. We will have them, and you can be able to engage with them after we close. They will still be around, but just to note, we'll have a 15-minute Q&A section where we'll be able to ask them questions. So kindly prepare your questions beforehand. We'll take about 3 questions from the audience so that they can be able to address. For now, we want to move to what we call Act 2 of the panel discussion. And number 1, I'm going to request Mr. Nelson to take his seat. Even as he takes his seat, we can clap for him. So he'll not be leaving, but he will be here for the Q&A session. So I'm going to invite Patrick onto stage. We are going to Act 2. Patrick, you can just join us on stage. We're going to discuss how can you be able to grow your ISP business. So these are people who have been in the industry. They have been able to see businesses grow. So Patrick is the first person. I'll also request the CEO of Centipede, Fabian, to come. But as he comes, I'll ask us to clap for Brandon, even as he takes his seat. Let's clap for him. He will still be around, even as we keep on asking him questions when it comes to data protection. He's an expert in that space under the company Barizi Data Privacy Services. So Fabian, you can have your seat. So for this specific panel discussion, we want to focus on how ISPs can be able to grow their business. And I'm going to start with Fabian. So Fabian, I'm giving you a minute to breathe so that we can get to the question. I think my minute is not very fair, but I'm just going to go directly to the question. So Fabian, you have worked with so many ISPs. We have seen the numbers here. Right now, over 5,000 ISPs. It's quite impressive. And I think over the years, you have interacted with many of them. So beyond selling bandwidth, where is the money for small or medium-sized ISP? Where do you think the money is coming from? Because you operated a business, you have interacted with many of these businesses. Where do you think the money is?
Thank you. Thank you, Joseph, for having me on the panel. I believe there is a lot of untapped revenue for internet service providers. And one is advertising. One thing that internet service providers are not currently doing is using that space that we provide them for advertising. Because once a user lands on that page, they go directly to packages, they do not see anything on that page, but it can be used as a marketing platform. You can get, if you're a big internet service provider or a medium one, you can get some stores around your area. You can ask them, what can I advertise for you on my platform? I have a very big platform that users use daily to buy their internet, and I can advertise your business there. So that is a very good, that is one of the untapped revenue streams that internet service providers can use. Managed services is another one. We've shown you Centipede Access here. You don't have to use it yourself. You can actually go to an institution and tell them, I can monitor your devices. If your internet is ever offline, I can get notified and I'll come fix it for you. So managed services, including laying the cable, which some ISPs are also doing, but not all of them are using their skills to their full potential. If you can go to a business, look if they need any services in networking, you can actually offer your services because you've been doing this networking every day, connecting customers in an apartment. You can actually use those skills to manage someone's internet business, their business internet. So I think there is a lot of untapped potential. Those are just two examples. And some of the distractions that I've seen from ISPs is looking for more business while you're not maintaining your current customers. So one thing that internet service providers and how they can grow their income is by reducing their churn. Churn is very high in the ISP business. If a customer calls you once, twice, the internet has an issue, that customer is more likely to leave because it is a very competitive landscape. So if you maintain your customers, you stop them going somewhere else, you can maintain that income. Looking for money does not necessarily looking for new money. You can maintain the money that you have instead of having to look for new money while ignoring the customers that you already have. So improving customer support, improving your services, using a good billing system like Centipede, these are among some of the things that you can use to reduce churn.
Thank you very much, Fabian. And probably picking up from something that you have mentioned, that this is a very competitive industry. I'm going to go directly to Patrick. You have been here for some time. How do you think, actually you can give us your own experience and also probably advice, how have you survived the price wars? Because I believe it's something you experience. It's a very competitive industry.
Yes, we know the likes of 100 Mbps 2000. So how now have I managed to maintain my clients with my 50 Mbps at 2000? The first one is to have a reliable network. Something to shock you, clients don't care about speed. They care about reliability. A client will move out of another provider to a 10 Mbps because of reliability. So invest in reliability. And when I mean invest in reliability, choose proper hardware, not hardwares that fall at 3 a.m. You're using a 951 and you're managing 120 users. That cannot work. Proper infrastructure. If you're doing a fiber backbone system, make sure the structure is to standard and also regulation. You might have the best hardware, the best backhaul link. Then one day, the guys from KPLC or CK comes and takes down the whole network. You have lost the clients. So don't worry about speeds, 100. Even right now, my technicians are doing installation. 50 Mbps, 2000, and I'm still surviving.
Thank you very much, Patrick. I'll quickly move to Leon. Leon, apart from the price wars that people experience, what else do you think a business can be able to do in terms of, I know Patrick has advised us not to overly focus on the speeds, but what do you think you have done in your business that has enabled you to stay afloat your competition?
Okay, so the first thing is keeping a good relationship with your customers. Let me give you an example. You call maybe your ISP, you are a customer. Like, najua nyinyi wote ni ISPs, but JK in a shoe of a customer. Umepigia your ISP customer care, and someone picks up and they're like, "Hello, Leon, how can I help you today?" So you feel like this person, when you're kwa ile desk, they know you. You feel there's that feeling, una feeling ni kama unaweza kuwa unampigia hadi kwa ploti mzima representing ploti mzima, like you feel kama anakujua, you see. Okay, sasa talking about having a good relation with your customers also helps mostly. Okay, in my side it helps mostly on triple PoE, but for those who are doing hotspot, it really helps. For example, if you have your hotspot customers in a certain place, if you keep a good relationship, if you keep a good relationship now, customers wako, in case there's an issue, they'll reach out to you as if they know you at a personal level. Not necessarily does it have to be you. We might be having a customer care agent. So you explain to them that in case a customer calls you, go to the system, muangalie jina yake, then save their number, jina yake. Ama ask them their name. So save their number. So the next time they're calling you, refer to them with their name. Ask them wamekuaje, like for the time. Alafu something else that I do. I built a small system. It's not that huge, a small system. So this system, what I do, I assign customers to a certain customer agent. So each and every month, they call the customers, ask them, wamekuaje, hii mwezi mahali imefika. Last month, hii mwezi tumefika date 30. Imekuaje, kumekuwa na any problems. So in case there are problems, they feed in kwa system on their side, then it reflects on my side. So I can see out of 100 customers, when wameulizwa hizi maswali, 50, no, not 50, 60, they are positive. 40, they are negative. So I see the negative ones. Najua hapa na hapa na hapo you have a problem. So we need to fix this. So kila customer agent ana submit their responses. I get the responses on the system. Naangalia naona last month tulikuwa na 40 negative feedbacks, but this month tuko na 60 negative feedbacks. So there's high chances some clients wanaweza tutoka. So I reach out to them on a personal level. Actually, some of them, when maybe wako na businesses, when you're tunawapata internet and they have businesses, I reach out to them, I call them, now what's the problem exactly? And I make sure that next time they're being called again, they're not bringing the same problem. they are bringing a different problem. So adding on what Fabian said about the churning part, keeping your customers, they kept money. Ile do yenye umeweka, wale wenye umesaidia, not umesaidia, wale wenye umeweka wasiende, they bring more money. You know, if you're happy about the service umepata, trust me, you're going to refer someone else. Like that's a marketing strategy actually, at zero cost. You're not going to spend a lot any money for marketing ya kuambia mtu refer you to you to who, provided you give them something nice. Yeah, that's why I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Leon. Actually, one of the things that cuts across the three responses is the fact of maintaining your existing customers, which is something very important. So, I mean, obviously, if we're able to improve on and we're able to reduce our churn rate, then obviously we can increase our income. I'm going to move directly to Mercy. Mercy, looking at the business landscape, where do you think ISPs can get quick wins, things such as tax reliefs? Where do you think they can either reduce the expenses or more or less make more money when it comes to the legal aspect of the industry? Yes.
And as much as we're looking for a way to reduce expenses, and get tax reliefs, we must bear in mind that the first thing we should do is to be tax compliant. Make sure that you are registered first of all. Is your business registered? Is the entity you're dealing with, does it have a KRA PIN? Do you even have a bank account linked to your business? Those are the things you're supposed to look at. With regards to getting a form of tax relief, the one I can think of is when you're getting deductible expenses, make sure that whatever deductible expenses which are incurred when operating your business are linked to whatever KRA PIN you have, so that when you're calculating your annual income output, it will be reflected. So that's my answer on that.
Thank you very much, Mercy. I think there are different ways. Obviously, we can be able to reduce our expenses and the legal. I think obviously the solid one that you have mentioned is avoiding the things that happen after you're caught by either CAK or even the county government. So I'm quickly going to go back to Leon. I think he wanted to add something extra. Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, so this is something that tumefanya with the Wima internet team. That was last month, and it really worked. You see, the thing MBPS, very few customers care about that. Let me give you a very good scenario. If you unanipatia 20 Mbps and my friend, someone else is giving me 10 Mbps, but you unanipatia 10 Mbps didn't even tell me that I'm giving you 10 Mbps. Aliniambia, if it's a family, you have how many phones? 3 phones, 2 laptops, there's a gamer in the room. So for all of them to run smoothly, you need this package at 2,000. They didn't even mention the speed, but you felt that this is what I need. But someone else comes and tells you, we are giving you 20 Mbps at 2,000. Do you see the difference? They don't care much about the speed, you know? So our packages nowadays, we don't even have the speed being too conspicuous. What we have being conspicuous is how many devices can you connect at a time? And can it support gaming or not? Can it support live streaming or not? So someone who is looking for internet on zile packages, I call like, this is what I need. They don't care about Mbps. And actually the most weird part is even the ISPs themselves, the micro ISPs, don't even understand the full meaning of Mbps. So you're going to tell a customer tunakupatia 20 Mbps, they don't really care about that. There's something specific they want to hear. Like they want to hear, anaangalia, niko na simu ngapi kwa nyumba? Mtoi ako na moja, so niko na simu 3 in total, 2 laptops, I have a TV. So anaangalia kwa hizi packages gani na support what I want. Yeah, that way.
Thank you very much, Leon. I'm going to go back to Fabian. So Fabian, we have seen news of different companies coming to Kenya to put up data centers. You've already showed us how Centipede is adapting into the AI space. What do you think the ISPs in the room need to be cognizant of, or they need to be aware and take advantage of in this space of AI? Because it's an industry moving very fast. how can they take advantage of AI?
Thank you, Joseph. I believe AI is made possible by availability of data. Without data, you cannot train the AI, you cannot train AI basically to do whatever you want it to do. So availability of data is very important. And in business, you need to be making data-driven decisions. Now, with the advent of AI, the one thing that has become readily available is information. So you need to be able to consume that information from the AI. For example, if you're using ChatGPT, maybe you have a small issue with your MikroTik, you run to ChatGPT, you post your screenshot. You need to be able to use it effectively. And also, you need to be able to ask it properly. Now, one thing that we've done, and I'll keep always coming back to Centipede, what we've done with the new version is we've provided you with the data to make the decisions. So we've structured your data in such a way that it is queryable. You can query your data so that if, for example, you want to, as Leon has mentioned, you want to reach out to customers that might churn, you can actually use that AI, make use of that AI so that you can minimize your work, make your work effective, get all the users that need to be contacted, do all the analysis using your AI, and you might you so using AI is as big in the tech industry is actually a very it's an upgrade for us for those who are using AI in the tech industry. I may not say a lot about the rest because I have not used AI in other aspects. But when you're an ISP, you're in the tech industry, you need to utilize that AI. Even if it is in Kenya, it is a Kenya-driven AI system. It is an international AI system. Maybe it is the system on our billing system, which is currently very simple. You can just use those tools to make sure that your business is running effectively.
Thank you, Fabian. I'm going to go to Patrick with regards to AI.
So actually, I didn't want to answer about AI. Fabian has handled that very well. I needed to answer a question you have asked Fabian in terms of a data center. A lot of companies are coming to set up data centers in the region. And I, as a person who is in multiple data centers, Africa Data Center, the PIAX here. So how does a data center assist you as an ISP? What I talked about is reliability. What a data center offers you is reliability. I know we hate the problem of KPLC. It's streaming during World Cup, then electricity goes off. Your server is off. It was not planned. That's where a data center comes. Go collocate in a data center. Put your big router, your routing firewall router in a data center. Then distribute from the DC. That gives you peace of mind that your MikroTik or your core MikroTik that is doing routing can never go off. My MikroTik in DC where my clients connect hasn't gone off for the last 2 years. It has an uptime of 2 years. And hapa kuna MikroTik iko na uptime ya 2 years. It's like 3 hours. Wengine hadi niko very sure reboot 2 minutes ago. So that's something to look about. Ukisikia stories at data center.
So Patrick, just still on you, how practically can they position themselves?
So for you to position yourselves in a DC, this one is here. Go get the micro ASP because you need a license to enter a data center. A data center will not allow you to enter a data center without a license from the CK. Then take your core system. It might be the CCR. Take it to the data center. Take a rack. And the beauty about data center, there are many providers there you can connect with. If one provider does not offer you reliable, you can pick another one. There are a lot of interconnections in the data center. Pick the most reliable, and majority are reliable because it's a data center. Then pull your cable outside. Now handle your clients outside the data center.
Thank you, Patrick. I'm going to go to Leon. We know we are competing against the big players such as Safaricom, Zuku, and right now also internet is becoming more affordable and accessible in Kenya. And as they are expanding aggressively, how do you think we can compete with this aggressive expansion?
Okay, so it's a very good question. It's a question that I was really waiting for. Now, about the big telcos expanding aggressively, I think we are targeting different niches. Sorry, like the niche that the small SPs, the micro SPs are targeting. I think the only people who are supposed to be worried about the growth of the big telcos are the tier 3, not the small ones. Because what we do, I think what the small ISPs do, they are there to serve those who cannot afford the tier 3, mostly. They are there to serve those who cannot afford the tier 3. And in this case, if the big telcos are growing too fast, they are challenging the tier 3, not the tier 4. I think the tier 3, the tier 4, we should have not that much to worry about the big telcos going too fast. And something else good is when they grow too fast, they give us access to affordable capacity. Like unapata internet at a very affordable price. Let me give you a very good example. Starlink coming kukuja Kenya, ilikuwa inashtua Safaricom and Airtel. But very few micro ISPs felt that as a challenge. They took that to their advantage. You understand? So having companies like Amazon growing too fast, or maybe Airtel getting growing too fast, that is an advantage. I think it's an advantage that for ISPs in some way. It's an advantage. It's very, and ujipate in an issue you're competing for customers between wewe na Safaricom. Very rare. In rare cases, utajipata you're competing with for customers, and in case you're there competing with them, you're most probably going to take that customer. So about them growing too fast, what I would say is the micro ISPs just need to make sure that they have reliable internet. Make sure that they have reliable internet in terms of uptime. That is, kusikwena issues in between a lot. Kusikwena a lot of issues. Kusikwena issues because the big telcos, what they focus on mostly is making sure that whatever they are providing, hakutakuwa na a lot of calls to their customer service, their customer care agents. They don't get a lot of calls. So if the micro ISPs, we focus on making sure that we provide reliable and quality services, I don't think the big telcos going too fast is a big challenge to us. But it gets to be a challenge because it's not like we are built to remain stagnant forever. There's a time that we'll now be getting to that niche. That's when it can become a challenge. But right now, according to my exposure, I think I cannot talk much about the tier 3.
Thank you very much, Leon. We're actually drawing towards the end of this panel discussion, and I'm going to throw this question to Patrick. So, Patrick, we have talked about the cost of licensing. We have talked about the cost of renting the KPLC poles and all this. Where do you think ISPs can collaborate to be able to win in this specific space?
So, I'll first add on what Leona said, then it will actually give a sense. Leona said there is competition of the big telcos. We should not worry about it much. But I like to differ with you in a sense because we all depend on the big telcos. We depend on liquids, like of liquids, Airtel, to carry the bandwidth. What if one day they decide to close the tap, where will the small ISP go? That's a question. So now to answer Joseph's question, we need to collaborate as ISP in terms of building our own infrastructure. Imagine Waveco, imagine Wimatech or Centipede build a cable from one of the nearest data center to, let's say, like pipeline, a region like pipeline, and we provide ISPs, the micro ISPs in that region, the capacity. There's no limitation for bandwidth. We can get bandwidth at a cheaper rate from DC. There's no cost of layer 2. The major cost that normally drives the internet business is layer 2, transportation. You are buying capacity at 50 bob per Mbps at the DC, but it's landing at your POP at 200 bob per MB because you are paying 150 bob per Mbps to carry that capacity. What if you removed that cost? You just need a support team to support the cable. You don't need to be paying a monthly cost of 150 bob per MB. And it's actually a big challenge because at 150 bob per MB, imagine pushing 10 gig. That's 1.5 million. If you had your own cable, that 1.5 million would have gone to purchase another drum to go to Nakuru to serve other clients there. That's something we should think about as micro ISP. Wimatech, Waveco is here, Centipede is here, VNet is there. Let's build our own infrastructure. Because I know the day these big telcos decide, do you remember? Let me not talk about the history.
We also don't remember. But
the ISPs remember what happened.
Touche. I think, Patrick, just to close off this panel so that we can get into the Q&A, what practical steps do you think should be the initial steps in us partnering? Who should be the initiator? You know, we can talk, but where do you think we should start as ISPs in terms of this collaboration?
Okay, I have a real world example. I'm Waveco. If you look at the details of Waveco under the CK, you will not find Waveco. You will find another company. I came together with my friend, a technical support from Centipede, Ibrahim. Ibrahim can stand up. He's the one who assisted me to get into the data center. From the data center, Ibrahim is not good at marketing. We need to push that to the market. Now that's where Waveco comes. I might be good at marketing. Ibrahim is a beast when it comes to MikroTik. He knows configuration like nothing else. I know my connection made me know people from different providers, likes of Wyok, likes of all the CDN providers. It made me know connections. I just take my connections, throw them to Ibrahim. Ibrahim runs the magic on the core router, and then we take the internet out of there. That's what the mindset. I do the marketing. Ibrahim monitors everything from the DC, handles the licensing with CA, handles everything. I bring clients. Then for transportation, this is a mindset I need to change from you guys. If you are to take capacity from here to Kisumu, who'll be the first provider you think of to carry that link? Can somebody answer me? Safcom, people are saying Airtel. But have you ever thought there's someone, an independent company, that is doing that? Have you ever thought maybe we might take as a cable? We always think of the corporate brand, of the corporate brands. But we might have a cable up to standard with reliability at half the cost. That's something now we should look into.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Probably after this, we will check with Wimatech if we can get the cables. But and I think such events help us to network. So as Patrick has mentioned, his strength is in marketing, and Ibrahim, his strength is in terms of the technicality. So I think such events help us to network, and hopefully by the end of this session, we'll be able to have known a few SPs, and hopefully we can get some really amazing partnerships, and we can be able to grow the industry. So I want us to give a round of applause for our panelists. We can just clap for them. Yes, so I want to open this up for questions, and I'm going to begin with the licensing part of it. So I don't know if we have any questions in the room. You can raise up your hand. We'll bring the microphones to you. So any questions when it comes to licensing, regulations? Do we have any questions in the room? Any questions? Oh, we have two questions here. So
yeah, good afternoon. So kuna mwenye asikii Kiswahili? Okay. So I just it is somehow a question and somehow a suggestion what I'm thinking.
Yes.
To Mr. Nelson, why can't you just have a standard, a specific standard, the national government and the county government, like the region where I'm operating, you find like the standards from CAK are lower, but in that county where I'm operating from, you get Kanjo anakuambia that you pay 120 shillings per meter to run a fiber cable, which is much expensive. So why can't you just have a standard like the shops? There's a normal shops, hizi duka za kuuza maziwa na nini. There is a standard that Brookside is 60 bob, and that's the standard in any shop. So why can't you just have a standard for this, the license from the national government and the county government? Si ati huku nje unapata huku unanyanyaswa kwa hii county, you can't trade in this county just because vitu zao ziko juu sana.
Mr. Nelson?
Thank you very much. A very good question. And maybe Mercy will help us at some point.
Probably you can stand so that they can hear you.
Thank you very much. Now, when we're talking about county governments versus the CA, now, CA is in the national government, part of the national government. Now, this is like we have 48 governments. Now, this is a very interesting one because every government is autonomous on their own. Now, and the benefit is for all of us. The easiest way to go about it is through collaboration. Talk through it. Now, we have done that bit by engaging the county governments. And in fact, some county governments have zero rated the way it is. That's the good news. Some county governments are very high. But at the long run, you'll see that county governments that have zero rated will have better benefit in terms of penetration of ICT services. And this is a conversation that is ongoing, and we hope for the best. Now, for us to harmonize the way you're saying, it has to go through parliament, an act of parliament. Now, to go through an act of parliament, it has to be maybe one MP has to come up with a bill which has to be passed. So that one may take a lot of time, but we want to do things like as fast as possible, isn't it? So the easiest way right now is to go through the collaboration bit. So through the Count of Governance, we have actually been able to make some progress right now. I think there's good progress, and I believe you will be able to see the fruits not long from now. The bottom line is, the faster the ICT services penetrate through the counties, the faster the benefit. In fact, even in terms of revenue collection, the counties will collect more revenue if we have better ICT services, isn't it? Because ICT is an enabler. So that's where we are. It's a journey, and let's walk it through together. We are here to facilitate, basically, as a government entity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. We had another question here. There was another question here.
Good afternoon. My name is Hansen, and I have a question to CAK. Is that micro licensing that you bring forth for the smaller ISPs, and you find that you said you can operate only on one county? Then you can find like in a case where you are in between three counties. For example, when you're in Nairobi, somewhere in Syokimau, some part might be in Nairobi, other part in Machakos, and maybe you can be having business in Kitengela, which is in Kajiado County. So now you cannot use that tier 3. And then your business has not yet grown to that extent of having a bigger licensing. Because you've said you're also looking up for the smaller ISPs. Is that the case? And also, there's a case of now you started a business away before some time back and you are not registered, and you want to register right now. Are there fines that now you have come forward, you want to register? Is there some form of backdating or penalties that you did not register at that time that you're starting your business? And then for that bit, the next is another panelist.
Okay,
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Nelson. You can respond.
Thank you very much. I'll start with the first one. The first one was about operating at the border of 3 counties, isn't it? So if you look at let me not talk about CA now. Let me talk about business, isn't it? If you are, from a business perspective, if you are working from Syokimau, which is in Nairobi, and part of your business is in Kitengela, Kajiado, another one is in Mombasa Road, in Machakos. If you look at the business case, you may not benefit as much as someone who has concentrated in Nairobi. Is that true or not? Answer me.
Part is the demarcations, you are in Syokimau.
Yes.
Syokimau itself is in Machakos, not in Nairobi, in fact.
Yes.
It's in Machakos.
Yes.
Then you have some parts you're doing neighboring. Like, for example, JKA, one part is in Machakos, another part is in Nairobi. So definitely you'll have to operate that jurisdiction. You'll be able to serve.
So there are 2 options. Number 1, you have to make a decision and concentrate on one county. The second option is you take a tier 3, which gives you 3 counties. Now, if you look at that mathematics, the easiest to give back your money, because that is the objective, is to take one county first, grow, and then move to the second county, and then grow, and then move to the third county. The other option, there is a license called Community Network Services. Now, this is not a business license. This is for a community. Now, you come together as a community and set up a network. Now, that one is not for profit, but of course, you can ride on it and get some income, isn't it? Now, community network license is designed for a community where people have a certain objective together and they want to use this network to achieve For example, you are farmers. You want to market your products. You can roll out a network as a community, and then you can work on that. Now, for your case, you can have a SACCO or whatever. Inaitwaje these small businesses at home. Use that one, get a community, and then you can do that business. But it is not for profit. The second one was what? If you are running a business and you want to register, the first thing is that you have not been caught by the law, isn't it? Now, what you do, quietly come, but you don't speak. Okay? Come quietly and get a license and move on. Isn't it? Yes, thank you.
Before you sit,
Yes,
I just wanted to rebuttal one question of your viewers that the first response. Because now I thought you can look at it this way. Is there a way that you can look at the size of the company? Because when I come to register there, now it's the case of the 3 counties. You definitely will know the size of my company.
Small.
There's a way you can know how many clients I have,
Yes.
how I operate, I run my operations.
Yes.
Because, for example, to your case, I love to get data from the closest data center to Syokimau. It's IX Africa, where somewhere at Cabanas.
Mm.
So that one is Nairobi.
Mm.
I don't think there's the data center in Machakos town.
Now, you don't have to have a data center in Machakos to operate a business in Machakos. You can have your data in Syokimau, pull a cable to Machakos, but your business must be within Machakos County. So your data is in, most people, their data has been abroad, isn't it? Data, it doesn't matter where your data is, but where your business is. That's what matters. Thank you.
Thank you. I think, do we have any other questions for this licensing space? I know there's one here with Patrick. We have one with Patrick here, and I think there's another one online.
Someone is asking on YouTube, ask the panel how competition is being regulated, maybe direct specifically to CA and or an advocate. I don't know what they meant by competition or regulation, so maybe you can advise.
Maybe I can explain that better. I know for most industries there are price regulations. So I don't know if in the ISP industry, if there is any regulation when it comes to pricing. Maybe by CAK. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We have a pricing regulation for the industry. Right now, what we have is we have a department called Competition and Tariffs, CTMA. So this department ensures that the pricing of ICT services is regulated. Now, as we speak right now, the market has matured for mobile operators, and the market has not matured for the ISP industry. So for mobile operators, that is done, including interconnection rates. Okay, so there is a cap for interconnection from one mobile operator to another. Now, when it comes to the ASP, okay, I call it ASP because it's a license in our place. We are going to develop, as I spoke before, we're going to develop guidelines starting 1st of July. And I think that's one of the things that we're going to consider, so that we have a regulation in terms of data speeds, a regulation in terms of pricing. But that's where we are right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nelson. I think we have one more question here. Patrick?
So there's something else on you have said. Let's say I'm in Machakos. I applied the micro ASP for Machakos, but I need to get my backhaul from IX Africa in Mombasa. You said I can run a cable from IX Africa to Machakos, but when that cable is being run, it's passing through multiple counties. That cable will, let's say when enforcement comes during your enforcement, will I be in violation?
Yeah, I was waiting for the nod from the speaker.
Yes, I've given you the nod.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so I want to say that the license, the micro ASP license, is supposed to guide you on where you are going to be operating from. But capacity you are going to source from any means that will help you bring it in. It is not going to be your infrastructure. If you want to build infrastructure across counties and across several places, then you will need to obtain the license for infrastructure development. But it doesn't matter where your capacity has come from and who has brought it. But whoever is out there building infrastructure, whether laying fiber or doing the terrestrial plants, must be licensed as an infrastructure provider in the upper licenses. But for you as a micro ASP, yours is to source data or capacity from an upstream provider of any type. Tell them this is where I am authorized to operate. That's where you are limited. Your operation is limited to that county. But the routes through which you source from is in another category of a license. You are also allowed to build infrastructure, but within that county. So if, for example, you're in Machakos town and you decided to go serve the nearby towns within Machakos County, that license allows you to build infrastructure within that rate, but not beyond that county. Thank you.
Okay, to clarify.
I should remain here?
Yeah,
Okay.
if you can clarify something to me. So the micro ASP comes with the ASP and an NFP for one county.
Yes, for their county.
But I want in a way this provider will not frustrate me with bandwidth. I don't need to pay layer 2, but my capacity, my capacity is located in IX Africa. I need to go to IX Africa with my own cable. I don't want to be frustrated with a third party.
Then welcome to Tier 2 license.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I think we're done with that section of licensing. I don't know if there's any specific question. I don't know if there's any specific question based on the discussion we have had here, and also for our panelists. Any question? If we have a comment, okay, you can go ahead.
I think I would like to throw a question to you. You understand the role of a referee in a game. And one of the biggest challenges that we have had as CA is to have fair competition in the market. Colleagues and friends, understand the desire of this part of government where we belong is to enable connectivity. In fact, our mantra is opening your world. And we can only open that world through people like you who have innovations and who have ideas of how to increase the connectivity. But how do we achieve fair competition? And how do we ensure that our industry is operating at a level whereby there's no cannibalism? We want to protect every player at their level from interference or being curtailed or being removed from the market by forces that are unfair. But now, as you roll out your services, as you come into the market, what is it that from your own viewpoint can be used as a way of achieving fair competition and ensuring that the market matures and matures systematically? I need this audience to help me know how to regulate them.
That's a question. I believe we can have about three comments from that, because we have CAK here today. I think anyone who would want to give their comments to CAK. Yeah, we have one. Even as he speaks, anyone else who would want to give their comments to CAK? Anyone else?
Maybe I should add, there was something about infrastructure, and I was wondering about infrastructure sharing. Because you said, can you run your cable? I was wondering if all of us decided to run cable, how the world will look like. Is there a possibility of an innovative way of infrastructure sharing so that you come along? Because I think you mentioned it and he also mentioned it a bit, so that there is no building and building forever. Thank you.
Just a quick comment. Actually, in the regulations which are supposed to take effect on 1st July, you are supposed to share the infrastructure. So if there's a cable and you can share with anyone else, you are obligated to share it.
Okay, then I have a question for that. Subjected to the rates of the one who first lay the infrastructure. If they tell me to pay 500 per MB, how will that go?
The thing is, obviously, there's a pricing structure. There's a competition structure, an anti-restrict structure. Whatever you're given should be within the guidelines and the market pricing. Obviously, it cannot go within beyond whatever is provided for or whatever is expected and is deemed to be reasonable.
Thank you. We can go directly to you.
Okay.
Maybe you can stand so that I believe you're speaking for most of them.
Okay, so my question or my comment is to CK, because they are the big dog here, they can work on the transportation costs. The one he said around 150. I think they can talk to these tier 2 providers so that they can put a cap, maybe at to reduce that price. It's hurting us as the tier 4s.
Is that probable or possible?
Yeah, we do not regulate commercial rates. We allow the market forces to regulate. And like my colleague said, some industries you have to give them chance to mature into a level whereby they will balance out. So unless if maybe specifically a team or yourself can register a concern, then our competition management and market analysis team can come up with a study on that. We conduct a market study to see what is happening, and then we do an international comparison to benchmark, and we are able to advise what is suitable for Kenya. But that has not come through. What I know has come through is perhaps what we are working towards infrastructure sharing, where we are keen to observe even some of these charges that have come up from county governments has made some of our businesses or our licenses not to be able to roll out effectively. So that bit is what I know my team, my colleagues in competition management are working out to see whether we can pronounce something about the distribution channels and the costing that they have. But our encouragement is that let the commercial issues play out on the market. Once they mature, then we can pronounce a fixed rate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think
maybe what I can finally add is that the regulator is always ready to negotiate, to discuss. If you are trying to do business in a place and things are getting difficult, please register with us. We can work with you there and listen to them tell you the numbers. Then we can see whether that is fair or not. Thank you. But I think it's this lady who said, you need to be licensed. You need to be our member for us to know how to work with you. If you're operating illegally, it is impossible to come in for you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we can give them a round of applause. And also, as panelists take their seats, we can also give them another round of applause. Let's clap for them. For all our panelists, we can clap for all of them. And I'll hand over back to our MC. Thank you very much for listening to us.
Wow, we can appreciate them better. Let us appreciate them. Very, very comprehensive, right? Just turn to the person. I see there's a question from, but we are finished with the question session. Is it a comment? Yes? Okay. So maybe our moderator, you can check with NAMCOM just to get to hear what they're sharing. And also, as we get to understand that, maybe just turn to the person sitting next to you and tell them your key takeaways. What are you carrying home? What you've had from the young gentleman. Amazing. Just share your key takeaways. Amazing. Maybe as I share your key takeaways, allow me to welcome Namcom to the front to share with us a comment he has. You can just stand on your feet.
Halo, samahani mazee kwa hii comment yangu ya mwisho. Nilikuwa na ngoja hiyo chance. Maswali tulikuwa tumedirect kwa KPLC na CIK. Mimi nilikuwa na ngoja tupewe chance ya kuuliza maswali kwa Centipid mwenye amenialika hapa. Kwa majina ni Nicholas from Mombasa. Network yangu yaitwa Nicom Solution. Mombasa twasema usikatae mwito ila unachoitiwa. Invitation yangu imetoka kwa Centipid na niko na comment side ya Centipid. Nimeuza net before nikutane na Centipid. Nilikuwa natumia MikroTik. Hiyo session ilikuwa ngumu sana. Hiyo kutumia MikroTik, zingine abidi ufanye manual disconnect client. But since nikakutana na Centipid, service zao zilikuwa fiti sana. From the beginning, hiyo journey imekuwa fiti. But kusema tu kweli, kuanzia hii month ianze, kumekuwa na noma sana. Ni sawa, wajua sisi pia kuna mahali twa report. Client ajui Centipid, ni mimi ndo najulikana pale. Mimi ndo nilimwekea mama mboga pale hotspot yangu, yatumia. Nikitaja tu Centipid, ataniambia gelea. Ushapata? Juu mimi ndo niko ground. Sasa issue yangu hapa ni Centipid wewe ni technician na mimi pia ni technician, lakini hiyo side yako sijafikia maybe. Sasa kuwe na line of communication. Mpaka leo na Centipid through WhatsApp. Nimetuma message saa 9 ya kuja kuwa replied saa 9 asubuhi. Umecheki? Mimi na yule client wangu umeniweka kwa noma. Please, mambo ya net iko na mambo mengi. Power backup, hiyo capacity, umalizane na sijui na tenant, landlord. Hapa kwa bidding system, mutaki kutufanyia kazi ikuwe rahisi. Kama sisi tumeinvest kwa customer care, sisi hapa chini, mbona nyinyi msikuwa na hiyo customer care channel? Ila mbona piga simu na inareceiviwa immediately, inaambiwa shida ni hii na hii na hii. Umepata? Sasa zingine shida za kuwa tu ndogo, lakini kwa sababu hauja communicate, watufanya sisi tubaki kwa giza. Hiyo ndo point yangu.
Thank you. Maybe I can comment on that before anyone else. So yes, we understand customer support is very important in this industry. And one of the issues that we've experienced is as we grow, of course, the number of entries into the industry have also become many. So you find that someone is just starting out that business and then they do not know what to do. They enter their MikroTik, they configure it, it loses internet, they call it Centipid. So power you guys so that you can do that support on your own. And the first one is the introduction of the documentation, which we introduced. And of course, I know some issues cannot be fixed by documentation. You need a live person to be live on call. And that is one issue that we are trying to address, increasing our support so that when you call, you always find someone. And that is something that by the end of July, let me promise by the end of July, will be fixed. So even if you have a small issue, you're an upcoming ISP who needs support, you'll be able to be sorted. And another issue that we fixed already is version 4. Like I've mentioned, we hit a ceiling with version 3. Version 3 could not be developed further. So we needed to pivot to another technology. And with that technology, you're going to have reduced issues. If you have a very urgent issue, it will be faster to fix because we own the technology, we own the code, we own the infrastructure, so it will be easier to fix. And if there are very few issues that are being experienced by you guys, then it will be free. It will free up that line for support, so that if you're calling, you get support very quickly because the support issues are reduced. So that is what we are working towards. I admit that is an area that we need improvement. That is not something I take lightly because customer support is what keeps the client, it's what maintains the business, and we are going to improve on that. But as I've said, we're taking measures slowly to improve on that. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is. Yes, I have one question. We find that a client pays for the subscription, and you find the money reflects in your account after 2 days, 3 days. Yeah. So has that issue been fixed, or is it pending?
Thank you. Money is a very sensitive issue. I understand that, and it needs to be sent promptly. So one issue we had previously was, and I will like to admit, we were using one server previously. It was a very huge monolith. So at the rate that we grew, you'd find that we are sending more than 1 million per day. So Safaricom would throttle us because they have those throttles for APIs. So now with version 4, we have added more IPs. We are load balancing, so the money will be coming directly to you in a few minutes, maximum 1 hour, because we also need to do some verifications so that we verify that that payment is going to where it's supposed to be. Of course, you don't want your money going to someone else, so we need to verify. We have a system that verifies that this money is going to the perfect place. So 30 minutes, 1 hour is our commitment for the following month. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Any other question? Yeah. Back.
If you have some other questions that you might want to ask the team after the event, we are available. Thank you.
Thank you. We can appreciate the team at Centipede. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing with us. I hope you shared your key takeaways. You got to share to the person sitting next to you. You did? Bado. Amazing. So just an announcement. We have the following QR codes. Please scan it. You'll see them somewhere in the room. We have quite a number of copies. Just scan so that you can download your photos, and remember to share them on your various platforms and use the hashtag. We said connect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And also tag us at Centipede Technologies. Could we appreciate our panelists and the moderator? Thank you for sharing with us your insights and also for guiding us very, very well. And remember when we started sharing about, I'm not sure if I mentioned that today we are also celebrating 3 years of the existence of Centipede Technologies. A round of applause, please. And to officially mark this in line with the various projects on this day, allow me to welcome the CEO and Naomi. But before they come, kindly, the DJ will play us some music. We want them to come dancing. It's a celebration marking 3 years. They will give us a few comments and to the cake cutting segment. Could we appreciate them? And my DJ, please, if you're ready, let's do this. And they have to dance, so they'll come from both sides. Each of them will give us a move, and then they will proceed to the cake cutting segment. Let's do this. Amazing. As the DJ is working on that, because this is a very key moment. We are marking 3 years. Cindy, it's a big milestone, and we are very grateful. So I don't know if my DJ is doing that intentionally under the guidance of the CEO. But it is well. So you can be scanning. I see quite a number of us have gotten to scan, and you can see the photos. And thank you so much to our partners and sponsors. Thank you for joining and for sharing your insights. Great. So ladies and gentlemen, with a round of to welcome the CEO Centipede Technology, and together with Naomi to guide us into the cake cutting session as we yes, amazing. Twende. Naomi, pole pole, guys. You Okay, but I see you. Show us. Okay, show your move.
No, you show us.
Hey, twende.
Majaribu ni kwa muda.
Let's go, let's go. I can see the rest.
Hata unapolemewa, kumbuka ulikotoka. Bwana atakuangusha.
Next move. Baby, please show us one.
Yeye atakuokoa. Kama si wewe Baba.
Amazing. Please, let's move our bodies as we mark the celebration of 3 years. Allow me to welcome Donna to show us a move. Patrick, please join us and give us one move. Ah, twende. Amazing, amazing. Joyce, you have a move? From Uganda, show us one move. The gentleman from Uganda. We want to celebrate. I can see the audience. Amazing. I can see both CK. Clap. Amazing. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, DJ. Thank you. So we are going to allow them to share with us as they guide us into the cake cutting session. You may take your seats.
All right. As we come to the end of this lovely day, we just want to thank God, and we thank each and every one of you for taking the time to come join us. We thank each and every one of you for also being our clients. Almost, we are here because of you, and we thank you for helping us see it through till this time. And I believe moving forward is just hopefully, as our slogan says, I hope it's just a year and a season of connecting, earning, and continuing to expand the business. So thank you again for everybody, and we will just share in this cake as we close and now move on with our day. So thank you again.
Something to note is, when we started Centipede, we only had one employee. That was myself. And then a few months later, Patrick joined me. So initially, we only had 2 employees, myself, Patrick. Then slowly, you guys began to trust us with your business, began to trust us with your networks. That's how we got where we are right now, with all the employees that you're seeing around. We don't take it lightly. We don't take lightly that you've worked with us the entire journey, and now we're here. And we hope that you'll continue working with us until we celebrate 7 years, 10 years, and so forth. So thank you very much for coming, and also for using Centipede. Thank you.
So we'll ask the rest of the team to join us as we cut the cake.
Actually, the team from Centipid, you can come help us serve the ISPs and our guests some cake. We also have some serviettes that are coming. You can pass them and everyone can have a piece. Pass the serviette so that they can get the cake. Joyce, you pass that to them. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. And also just to we have many more refreshments. Sawa. Please go for round 4, round 5. It is very well. They were all prepared because of you. Thank you. So don't be in a rush to leave. We also have a group session. Photos.
People like me and you, who know the way true is love and unity to all of God's children. You've been pretty thin, and the whole day should be spent and for remembrance of those who lived and died for the oneness of all people. So let us all begin. We know it's up to win. But I shall hold it in. Say it loud and again. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy Nobody can test the way you look tonight. Nobody. Girl, your character sweet and the way you move and hold me tight. Ooh, your flawless skin, the spark in your eye. Sweet African daughter, I wanna bring cows to your mama. You make me say yeah, I'm loving what you do. Say yeah, rusha rusha mikono juu. Say yeah, oh yeah, this feeling that you give me ever since you came my way. I'm in love with you, baby. Oh yeah, through the months, say yeah. Relax and baby, let me take you for a ride to another place where you and me can feel alright. Nikikuona naona ndoa. Sweet African daughter, I wanna bring cows to your papa. You make me say yeah, I'm loving what you do. Say yeah, rusha rusha mikono juu. Say yeah, oh yeah, this feeling that you give me ever since you came my way.
So as you finish the cake, we are going to have a group photo session. So our photographers, you can help us align on that.
Say yeah, oh yeah, this feeling that you give me ever since you came my way. I'm in love with you, baby. Father, of the Son, of the Holy Ghost. I'll never falter, never leave your side, my Lord. Katika jina la Baba na la Mwana na Roho Mtakatifu, sitakuacha. I'll never leave your side, my love. You make me say yeah. I'm loving what you do, say yeah. Rusha rusha mikono juu, say yeah. Oh yeah. This feeling that you give me ever since you came my way. I'm in love with you, baby. Yeah. Oh yeah. Come on, say yeah. You make me say yeah. I'm loving what you do, say yeah. Rusha rusha mikono, yeah, say yeah. Oh yeah. This feeling that you give me ever since you came my way. I'm in love with you, baby. Oh yeah. Tout le monde say yeah. Tout le monde say yeah. Tout le monde.
We're going to have a group photo session, and then you're welcome to, we'll have a closing remark from one of the team members at Centipede, and then we are going to proceed for the refreshments. Okay, so as you wind up, our photographers, you'll be guiding us shortly on where you want us to take the group photo so that we can be able to do that.
We want to have a group photo for everyone who has attended the event. So tukuje, we can come all of us to the front so that we can have one group photo. And then now we can have the clusters. So let's come to the front so that we can take a photo.
Thank you. Please let's join the front so that we can conclude.
Photo.